It's called direct action and it's arrived in the Dandenongs. Protesters at Tecoma have spent the week camped on a roof in the heart of town, trying to stop a McDonald's fast food restaurant planned for the site. Residents say 92% of locals oppose the development, and a VCAT decision giving McDonald's the thumbs up has left them questioning the democratic process. This morning I had a rooftop chat with one of the protesters. Mark Lawrence, what are you doing up there?
Good question, Guy. We've had a long 2-year battle to stop McDonald's moving into this area, and in particular onto this site. And the local population don't want it. The council unanimously said it was inappropriate development, and McDonald's have persisted to the point where VCAT has allowed them a supposed restaurant on this site, which means the demolition of this old historical dairy, the original dairy in Tecoma. And it means that the local population in particular have just had to persist with other avenues of protest. What we're trying to do is get McDonald's to back down.
You say that you've got so much support against the proposal and you've got council support as well. So how, therefore, is this continuing?
Well, it's an interesting thing in a democratic society, isn't it, that 92% of the locals don't want something. The local council, the elected council, don't want it. And yet two people at VCAT can make a decision for virtually in the interests of big business and without taking any notice of the general population. It's a pretty dangerous situation, and one of the underlying things of this is it's been a real eye-opener for me in what I consider was a democratic process. Why haven't you challenged the VCAT decision? I could never understand why the council should have to defend its position. It's supporting its ratepayers, and I couldn't understand why they should have to spend more money to go to the Supreme Court, and it could cost a lot of money, when they'd already made their decision. It's the state government and their planning system that is at fault here, not the local council. And I don't think ratepayers should have to continue to stump up money for that process. And
so what do you think, therefore, of the VCAT process?
Well, I think they have to take into account other things other than just law. There's the interest in the Dandenongs. There's the fact that this shouldn't have to look like the rest of Victoria, This is a unique part of the world and needs to be treated as such. And the people's decisions should be treated with respect as well. It is a democracy.
A decade ago, there was a similar campaign in Torquay. You go down to Torquay now, there's a McDonald's there, there's also a Bunnings. Are you just trying to really delay the inevitable?
Well, quite possibly, but why shouldn't this be treated as a unique part of Victoria? It is. On Clean Up Australia Day, 60% of the rubbish I picked up, 15 k's up there, was McDonald's rubbish. That's when they're down the hill there, 10 k's. When it's the gateway to the Dandenongs, we'll be knee deep in the stuff. It's the drive-through mentality that is not required. People come up here for quiet little coffee shops and a quiet time. They don't come up here.
People come up here for a quiet time.
Well, that's support. Believe it or not, that's support for this campaign. They come up here for a quiet time and to see the Dandenongs for what it is, not to come up for fast food.
But what's wrong with having a McDonald's in the Dandenongs?
Well, there's litter, there's the added fact that it's a 24/7 permit, which means that this community will never be the same. It's shut down at 9 o'clock. There's just hardly a light on here. It's a very quiet little neck of the woods, and it'll be changed forever. Not only that, this is the thin end of the wedge. If McDonald's get here, it'll be Hungry Jack's on the next corner, it'll be KFC up the road, and it'll be a battle to the top of Mount Dandenong to see who can put their stamp on that. It is not what the Dandenongs is about.
How are you being treated up there?
We thought we had a pretty good understanding with everybody, with the police, who have been good, and with these security guys. Unfortunately, we've had a few nasty incidents, and we've had to change our philosophy a bit. But in general, it's been excellent.
There were about 100-kilometre winds last night. How are you coping?
Well, we're having a little bit of a revolving support mechanism up here, and I wasn't here, so I missed that, but we're quite capable of hunkering down up here. It's quite comfortable. The nights I've spent have been quite comfortable.
How long are you planning to spend up there?
It's a day-to-day proposition, and at this stage we will have a presence here for as long as it takes. What is essential...
It looks like it could take a long time.
It could take a long time. We will have a presence here, and with any luck, with the union support and with common sense prevailing, the state government might review some of the decisions it's currently made.
July in Tecoma, it's not the warmest time to be spending it up on a roof.
This is balmy, mate. It will get worse.
Thanks for talking to 7:30 Victoria.
Thank you, Guy. Cheers.